belong to a family of musicians,
Yeah.
come from a background of classical, Hindustani classical music. So
Right.
we kind of have an idea that that was a substantial part of your training and upbringing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But what about your education? Because also there is always this emphasis कि भाई थोड़ा कर ले, थोड़ा पढ़ ले, degree ले ले. Right? So was it also
Right.
something like that for you, or
When you say that my family is the family of musicians, it is true, but you know, my family is not a professional musicians family.
okay?
They have not been into the profession, this profession. I much rather say that they are the practicing musicians. They practice the music very seriously, not less than a professional musician, but they didn't charge money for that. That was not their livelihood. My father plays violin, my uncle plays tabla, my grandfather used to sing and play all the percussion instruments. So music was there always, 24 hours. You know, I mean, like music was going on, but education was the primary thing into our family right from the childhood, because I was not attached to music at all. At all. लोग 6 साल की उम्र से शुरू करते हैं, 4 साल की उम्र से शुरू करते हैं, है ना, कहानियों में सुना है मैंने। तो मेरा वैसा नहीं था। मेरा ये था कि एजुकेशन पहले है। वहाँ पे एक लोकल जेवियर स्कूल था, वहाँ पे अभी भी है। वहाँ पे मेरा पढ़ाई लिखाई शुरू हुआ। उसके बाद देन आई एम ट्रांसफर्ड to the Bengali medium.
Calcutta.
This is in Calcutta. This is in suburbs in Calcutta. There is a station in the Hooghly district named as Konnagar. And Konnagar में एक मतलब लोकेलिटी है जिसका नाम है नवोग्राम. So वहाँ पे एक स्कूल है. तो वो नवोग्राम विद्यापीठ में मुझे ट्रांसफर किया गया क्लास 5th में. And then मेरा बंगाली मीडियम शुरू हो गया. I passed the board exam of the class 10th, and then I did the higher secondary from that school only. There's a college called Srirampur. There is a station called Srirampur, and it's a very famous college over there. So I'm a BSc graduate, mainly in physics, chemistry, maths, from the Calcutta University in 1999. And then I came over here, you know, to learn.
How did you move to Delhi?
I was learning Sarod from Ustad Amjad Khan Sahab since 1995, when I was passing out class 10, you know, the board exam. And then the training was continuing. I was very much into practice and things. But Ustad ji felt that, you know, I should be getting some more training, and it is important to come to Delhi, at least, if not permanently, but कभी-कभी आ जाओ, कभी-कभी सीख लो, हाँ, मेरे से आके. वैसे हिसाब किताब 95 से 99 तक चलता रहा. And then in 99, I went for the hotel management, from which I ran away. मदुरई कमराज यूनिवर्सिटी, वहां से मैं भाग के आ गया. तो आने के बाद फिर डैड ने पूछा कि आप क्या करना है, अभी वहां से भी भाग के आ गए तो करोगे क्या जिंदगी में. तो मैंने बोला कुछ पैसे दो और ट्रेन का टिकट खरीद के दो, तो दिल्ली जाएंगे सीखने के लिए. तो उस्ताद जी was in favor of me. That's my good luck. That's why I had the confidence कि भाई कुछ ना कुछ तो है उस्ताद जी करेंगे मेरे लिए. मतलब at least, you know, he will hear me, listen to me. So here in Chaar Yaar, there happened to be a relative of mine, a family friend, from very old. So my dad and my mom talked to them, and they agreed to, you know, give me shelter for a brief moment of time, 2-3 months. So I came to Delhi. I meet with Ustad ji. I started the class, and then Ustad ji told me that you have to get a job for yourself, because you are not going to right away get the programs and have money to sustain yourself. So get a job. So I learned computer from here in Delhi, and then ये सवित्री में था फैमिली कंप्यूटर क्लब. और वहाँ से मैंने 2000 रुपए में 3 महीने का एक कंप्यूटर क्लास किया. क्लास करके फिर मैंने ये, you know, कैलाश सत्यार्थी, the Nobel Peace Prize winner from Oslo. Yeah, Kailash Satyarthi. So Kailash Satyarthi was my boss. I got a job in his office,
Okay.
via Ustadji's friend, via Ustadji's friend,
Okay.
and then I started working there. So money. By the time I left that relative's place, I was staying somewhere else on a rent with my friend. So life started from there, you know. So
Okay.
that
So
that brought me.
this is still 2000.
This is 1999 September.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the job in 2000, January 2000.
Right.
So first January 2000 I joined
Okay.
uh, the job, and then
Wonderful.
yeah,
So now,
thanks.
if we are looking at this new album that you are part of, that Chaar Yaar is
Yes.
going to create and launch, it has already created.
Yeah.
It's a matter of launching in a couple of weeks, I guess. Ode
Yeah.
to Cosmos, you call it. What to you is its significance at multiple levels in terms of the kind of music that it has, in terms of the poetry that it carries, and in terms of where Chaar Yaar is and you are at this point in time. So, keeping all these in mind, what is the significance of this album?
In general, I'm talking about my existence in Chaar Yaar, first of all. That is not only for this album, but also this, since the time I have been associated with Chaar Yaar. It's like, you know, like in 2004 I joined this group, and before 2004 I was only thinking that music is music meant classical music, and music is only the classical music that I have in me, you know, and for the rest of the world as well, you know, because I was not open to um, many types of music. Maybe I was listening Bollywood and and then the classical music. There were only two kinds majorly. But when I started playing in this group, I I faced many challenges because in the traditional music, when you are trained in the properly traditional music, you are bound to follow some musical ethics, some some technical things, some uh, some melodical things, some rhythmic things, but all of it are is like a boundary. You know, it is called like freedom within the discipline. And the discipline is so strict that in the audience, if you are going to experiment with one note in a particular raga which is not there, then in the audience somebody might stand up and say, hey, you are not up to the mark, played correctly or something like that. You also might have heard many stories like that. But um, when I started playing in this group, the compositions that Madanji has um, created, and the way it has been created, you can say that it is very close to the Indian ragas. And Indian ragas. The fascinating thing about this is that uh, I don't want to just praise out of courtesy or something, but Madanji has asked me that, look, I have created a melody. Could you tell me which raga is this? Now, a person is creating a melody not knowing the raga, but it is fitting particularly and maintaining the disciplines of that raga particularly. It is amazing thing. So we often discuss that this raga, this is Charukeshi, this is Lalit, this is Gujitori, whatever it is. Now, this is this is an interesting thing for me, because when I am identifying in one track, suppose if I talk about Sakya, the track, then uh, Sakya is definitely in one, falls under one raga, but I am not playing the raga, only the raga. When I'm approaching that melody, I have to respect the emotion of the song that is into. I have to respect the poetry, though I understand, I don't understand, but melodic precision is such that when Madanji is singing, uh, I I get to know what is the feel of the song, and then I'm responding to it. Now the response has a multiple responsibilities. It should not it should not be too classical that I am going to be playing only the in the classical scenario. What happens is in the accompaniment, जब कोई accompany करता है तो ये होता है कि accompaniment की जब turn आता है तो सरोज जैसे सितार जैसे लोग आके बजाते हैं और उसका पीस खत्म हो जाता है. But I am not playing the piece here. When I say that I am the part of this group, that means musically also I am the part of that song, and as a part of that song, my existence is into the entire song, and not just for a 3 second or 15 seconds piece. So musically, it has given me a flight, a very different flight, a very different thought to think that sarod is not a very easy instrument to cope up with. It does not have chords. It cannot create wall for any song. So I thought about it, and now if you think about the tracks, maximum tracks, then I'm creating a continuous wall, parallel wall on which the song is happening. That is because of the challenges that I faced, and I had to think over there, how can I come up musically more interestingly, and not just a mere Hindustani classical sarod player. So musically, that has given me an immense challenge. In Ode to Cosmos, yes, because if you think about the songs, then Arbad Narbad and there's a Guru Nanak song, songs like this. These are songs which are full of musically full of classicity in them. I mean, they are very close to the Indian classical ragas. But I am not playing the Indian classical raga at all, because I was talking that day to Madanji, and I was saying that, Bhinni Rehne Riye is composed on a raga which is called Ahiri. Is a rag from a very early morning. A very early morning rag. जब गो वाला दूध देने निकलता है, उस टाइम को आहिरी कहते हैं. तो उसमें आहिर भैरव भी है, आहिरी भी है. Ahiri is an early morning raga, but the song is talking about moons and stars in the night. Now you see, but when you listen to the song, you won't feel anywhere that this is a morning song or this is carrying a morning sense. No. So it is the greatness of the composition first of all, and then the approach. I mean, without being too much modest, I can only say that yes, I had to think about applying the notes in a way so that it gives you a sense of night, more of a night than the morning. But if I had to perform this particular raga in front of an audience in the classical scenario, then I would have never performed this raga at the night.
Right.
So you see, musically it is very challenging. Poetry-wise, you're talking about poetry. Frankly speaking, I have to admit that the language and the poetry I really do not understand. But yes, there is always an explanation to that, which Madanji always does over all these years into the concerts before whatever he was singing. So regarding that, as a musician, I more relate to the notes, the musical composition than the poetry, because I am not hearing poetry at all. I have to admit that. But yes, of course, the deepness of the philosophy of the poetry philosophy, that is what moves me, because we off the stage we discuss these things a lot.
Which of the tracks is your favorite?
That is a very
like what he has shared with me so far. There are 2 versions of Aarti and 3 versions of Vismad, including Arbad.
Yeah.
So I know it's a difficult question, but there definitely is. Like you have kids, and one of the kids is your favorite. You love them all, but there is one favorite.
Yes. If you talk about one track, then I would say Aarti, because Aarti has a sense of completion. To me, as an Indian classical musician, again going back to that
Your
old
training.
scenario, old, yeah. So, so I mean, being an Indian classical musician, I would say that Aarti starts from an alap. Whoever is taking the alap, but Aarti starts with an alap, a very slow thing, without the rhythm, and then it is building up the crescendo with a jhala. It was the concept of Madanji again, that I should play some jhala over there, because if you know what jhala is, that is a very fast tempo in the Indian classical music where we show the notes, but in a very fast rhythmic manner with the use of the strings, certain particular strings. So that I didn't think of playing in the Chaar Yaar set. Never in the 16 years. Till the time the Aarti, I was playing with Aarti before as well. But in these last 2 years, we were traveling, we thought of kind of rebuilding, restructuring the Aarti in a very different manner. And by doing that, Madanji had asked me that think about it. And then when I was, running out of ideas, he thought that why not you play that thing, because we are going in single like tack, 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 and you are going in double like tack, 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 tack. So why not? Because you have the space and you can do that. Then I introduced that slowly, and it worked amazingly. I mean, I just love that.
Lovely.
I just love that.
You are referring to the form. You're referring
Yes.
to, you started with the fact that you like Rag Bhupali.
Yeah.
Then you referred to the fact that Aarti is a completion, that it starts with Aulap, then there is a build up, and then there is crescendo, and then it closes. And then you refer to this element of jhala in that. So you're still referring to the medium, of course.
Absolutely.
In terms of making, in terms of, let's say, discovery, of course, jhala was one discovery. It was the first time you're doing it in 16 years in this particular context.
Yes.
But other than that, as in terms of emotions or memories or associations, does this piece do something for you to really make it? I'm just pushing you to kind of inquire into if there's something inside.
I would answer your question in a very little different way. In the discovery, musical discovery, you can say technical. I'm a musician. I would obviously talk about my technical discoveries as well. Like which I was not doing. And when I got into Chaar Yaar, then I started doing that. I'm referring to a very wonderful scene that happened in 2005 in Italy. So what happened that we were staying in a small fort, you can say. वो जो किला होता है ना, मतलब castle type, yeah. So वहाँ पे rooms था, वहाँ पे हम लोग and it was in Lecce. There's a place called Lecce in south of Italy, extreme south of Italy. Castle के ठीक पास में एक बहुत छोटा सा एक church था. What I think it's called chapel. और वो chapel में ना कुछ था नहीं वहाँ पे. It was a very hollow, dark kind of a chapel. तो हम वहाँ पे रेसिडेंसी में थे. मैं, दीपक भाई, मदन जी, and there was a guy on the tabla called उज्जवल नागर. तो क्या हुआ कि उस चैपल में कुछ फिल्म मेकर्स, कुछ पोएट्स, कुछ राइटर्स, ये लोग सब इकट्ठा हुए और हम भी इकट्ठा हुए टू मेक समथिंग आउट ऑफ इट. मतलब कोई पेंट कर रहा है तो कोई म्यूजिक बजा रहा है. मैंने वहां पे जाके सरोद मिलाया, मदन जी हारमोनियम लेके बैठे और दीपक भाई अपना गिटार छेड़ते रहे. Everybody was sounding perfect, and we had chosen a track. जो Madan ji was doing something, some alap kind of a thing. Deepak bhai was playing some chords, but मैं जब बजाने जा रहा था, तो मेरा कुछ सुनाई नहीं देता था, because it was a hollow thing. So sarod में क्या है कि if you strum a note and then you slide, then वो इको हो रहा था, अंदर हॉलो था इसलिए, और इको हो रहा था तो before I play the next note, that note carried on so long कि मैं next note बजाता तो वो overlap हो जाता है, overlap and then it got multiplied every time. Multiplication की वजह से ये हुआ कि everything got jumbled up, कुछ नहीं सुनाई, because guitar was staccato, गिटार का एक एक नोट बहुत खूबसूरत लग रहा है, मदन जी आराम से गा रहे हैं एक एक नोट कर करके, और मैं कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा था. तो when I listened to Deepak Bhai very minutely, then I thought, okay, why not just give up the sliding things aside, and then let's stick to the staccato playing. Let's invite the staccato style of the guitar. Then I created a riff, you can say 8 notes, 16 notes riff. Da 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 da. Pa da pa ma ga sa re ma pa da pa ma ga ma re ga re sa ni pa da pa ga sa re sa. And I kept on playing that because it was so sounding beautiful. It was not intentional, but it was sounding so beautiful. I kept on playing that. Then Madanji started singing on that. Deepak Bhai also started playing on that. Then it became a track. But apart from became a track, it was a very new kind of a discovery for me, you see. Because and it gave me, you know what, Siddharth, it gave me a sense of more active participation into the group. Because उससे पहले क्या हो रहा था, जैसे मैंने कहा ना कि सरोद का पीस आया तो सरोद बजाया, निकल लिया, फिर सरोद का पीस आया तो गैप आया तो सरोद बजाया, निकल लिया. But it was not creating any wall. The participation was not continuous from the first minute till the last minute. The participation was not there for the sarod. वहां से हुआ ये कि वहां से मैं different songs के लिए different riffs, and depending on the beat, like 14 beats के लिए दूसरा, 3 ताल के लिए दूसरा, 1 ताल के लिए दूसरा, दादरा के लिए, you know, तो मैं वॉल बनाना शुरू कर दिया. वॉल बनाते बनाते क्या हुआ कि इतना मजा आया, and मदन जी, दीपक भाई was also all the time cooperative with that. वो भी encourage करने लगे कि भाई this is a very new style of playing sarod, new approach, जो कभी किसी ने, क्योंकि सरोद को किसी ने गिटार की तरह नहीं बजाया, you know. सरोद में कॉर्ड्स बजाने की कोशिश बहुत लोगों ने किया है, लेकिन कॉर्ड्स के अलावा भी सरोद एक वॉल बना सकता है कंटिन्यूअस, जो कि लूप की तरह चलता रहेगा. If you hear Sakia, then there's the influence of Pink Floyd. You see da 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 da. तो डिविजन बेल में हाई होप्स करके पिंक फ्लॉयड का एक ट्रैक है जिसमें वो जो ड्रमर है वो ड्रमर शुरू करता है ऐसे बेल बजाते हुए, टंग 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 टंग, द पियानिस्ट टंग 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 टंग, तो ये लास्ट तक बजाते जाता है बेल. सो दैट वाज द इन्फ्लुएंस फॉर द सकिया. It created the wall. So that kind of discoveries, it happened. Especially for the Aarti, had to be careful because number one, because it is a song of a different sort. You know, like Guru Nanak की आरती है, मतलब गुरु नानक जी के चीज है, तो मैं उसमें कुछ भी लिबर्टीज नहीं ले सकता. हालांकि मदन जी ने ऐसे कुछ कहा नहीं था मुझे कि भाई नहीं ले सकते, पर I have to be more poised, more रुका हुआ, or more thoughtful about the track when I have always approached Aarti.
And of course, you enjoyed, you loved, and whatever has come out is satisfying.
Yeah.
But because you are watchful,
Yeah.
because of the nature of association with Aarti,
Yeah.
you allowed yourself less of play.
Yes.
And you were participating in it as somebody who's keeping order.
Yes.
Who's
Kind of.
maintaining the structure, right? Who's maintaining the discipline.
Absolutely.
So my question then changes slightly. I still want to know which is your
Yeah.
favorite track within these five, which has moved you in a very different way.
Yeah. Well, Arbat Narbat is one, because Arbat Narbat mein I have to take a very different route. If I can sing, da 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 na da 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 na da 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 ni da pa ga. ये चीज ना इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक में भी नहीं है. जोड़ का बहुत क्लोज है. ये ये जो अंग है, इट इज वेरी क्लोज टू द पार्ट दैट कम्स राइट आफ्टर आलाप. आलाप में रिदम नहीं होता है, और यहाँ पे रिदम इंट्रोड्यूस्ड होता है, लेकिन फिर भी जोड़ में ज्यादातर ध्रुपद अंग बजता है, लाइक ढा 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 ढा, व्हाटएवर, है ना, ध्रुपद अंग बजता है, लेकिन ये जोड़ भी नहीं है. तो how do you interpret the eternity? How do you interpret the larger canvas of life and the cosmos? Because ये जो note है, this falls under the minor scale, and if you talk about the this note da 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 na da da da. Now the way it is saying da 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 na. ये जो मध्यम है, ये माँ, ये मध्यम से ये बार बार why I am strumming बार बार एक ही note, like I am impressing on da 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 na da na da na da 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 na. तो सारा काम करके इधर उधर करके आई एम जस्ट कमिंग बैक ऑन नी रे सा 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 और गा मा 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 मा. ये जो एक फ्रेज है, मुझे लगता है, मेरे लिए ये फ्रेज एक लार्जर कैनवास को इंटरप्रेट करता है. इट इज टू मी when I think about cosmos, when I think about stars, when I think about moon, when I think about the darkness of the sky, then to me this phrase, this particular phrase has to come again and again, like sakhiya mein bhi madhyam se hota hai da 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 da, but this is different from sakhiya. Now sakhiya mein ek pathos hai, sakhiya mein though these two ragas are the same ragas, but Sakhiya mein pathos hai because of the treatment I have kept it like that. But over here, I am going to all sort of notes, but I'm coming back to ni re sa, as if that aap jaoge kahan, or the circle is full. You are starting from one and then you are going here and there and here and there, and then you are coming back to one again, or zero, or whatever. So that was my idea before, when I heard about the track, and when Madanji told me that you have to sound different. This is not only because of sounding different. ये जो ट्रैक है, ये वैंकूवर में जब हम बैठे थे, ये चीज वहीं पे क्रिएट हुआ. It was not a pre-thought कि मैंने अपना घर में आके एक्सरसाइज किया. It was not a pre-thought, or I am getting some influence from some track. It was not like that. It was created right over there, which came to me, and it was in response to Madanji's singing, and in response to the poetry as well, because Madanji briefed about the Arbat Narbat thing.
Other than the medium itself, for instance, memory of an experience from before, somebody, some place, some experience? Does it trigger emotions? For instance, here you are, of course, responding to this emotion. I mean, it is something which is really underscored wonderment, right? So it
Yeah.
is about discovering the new, about this huge thing which we are a tiny part of, but we want to know what it is, as Madanji keeps talking about.
Yeah.
But is there something about your own personal experience and journey and memories that gets triggered in during your work, your sessions?
When we are into making of some track or something, my personal travels has always been majorly with Chaar Yaar. So if you talk about the emotions from the travels, then it is already associated with Chaar Yaar.
From your time in West Bengal and your childhood and all, because it's a very different
Yeah,
life.
yeah. My music has been very much influenced by Bengal, certainly. The place I come from, my entire upbringing, when I was a child, I was not at all interested in music. I was into games and all sort of other things, but the music. So my my grandfather passed away at an early age of 62. By on that time I was like 60, 62 years and 89 is like I was 11 years old. I was very far away from music, and my grandfather used to get very much disturbed at home when I was playing, and the music was going on, and there was a continuous sound from dub 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 whatever I am doing. This is one thing that I'm sharing for the first time. I don't think that I have talked this thing with anybody else, you know. And my grandfather came downstairs. He used to call me Bhai, lovingly. Bhai means, you know, brother. He told me that Bhai, আমি যা চেয়েছিলাম তুমি তা হলে না. Exactly these words. আমি যা চেয়েছিলাম means what I wanted you to become. তুমি তা হলে না. You have not become that. And he went away to do some more singings and, you know, with his friends and colleagues. On that time, I didn't realize, because I kept on doing that because I was 11 years old. Now, when I think about that, my musical journey starts with this pain. You know, like when I got very serious about playing sarod. I mean the days when I was loving to play sarod. The thing that I first remember that came to my mind is that काश आज मेरे दादाजी जिंदा होते. You know, in '92 I started playing sarod. So he would have been 65 years old by then, and he would have really seen me playing sarod and taking this up professionally. And I'm sure that nobody could have been happier than him in the family. So that pathos was always there. That is always there. When I sit alone, when I play, when I travel, every time I remember of him, that he could not see me playing. And then the influence that my dad has. Actually, my dad worked for me becoming a sarod player. My dad used to buy all sort of things when I started playing sarod. He bought a binocular. He bought a binocular because in the Doval Music Conference, he used to take me each and every concert of Ustad Amjad Ali Khan sir. And for that matter, any sarod player on that time, in 1992, 93, 94, on that time. And then he bought that binocular because we didn't have that kind of a money to sit in
To sit
front
up front.
row. Yeah, sit in front row and look at the hand positions and the postures, how Amjad Khan sir sits and everything. So वो 10-20 रुपए का टिकट होता था, बहुत पीछे बैठना पड़ता था. तो वहां से वो डैड बाइनोकुलर से हमें दिखाते थे कि हैंड का पोजीशन देखो, कहाँ सरोद रख रहे, दाएं हाथ का बाएं हाथ का पोजीशन देखो. वो जब बजाते थे तो मान लीजिए कि कोई सुबह का राग बजा रहे हैं, आनंद भैरव बजा रहे हैं। मुझे याद है आनंद भैरव बजा रहे थे उस्ताद जी, और मेरे पिताजी मुझे लेके बाहर आ गए, क्योंकि बाहर जाना आसान था पीछे की रो से, तो बाहर लेके आ गए, और बाहर लेके वही सीढ़ी पे बिठा के मुझे वो सुबह होते हुए दिखा रहे हैं, और अंदर से वो आवाज आ रहे हैं आनंद भैरव का, सो दैट आई कैच होल्ड ऑफ द मूड ऑफ द रागा। तो ये सारा काम, ये सारा पैशनेट यू नो परसुएंस जो था मेरे डैड की तरफ से, that actually that actually brought me up as a musician first, and then the sarod player. So ये जो चीजें है ना सिद्धार्थ जी, जब भी मैं कोई म्यूजिक बजाता हूँ, मैं ऑटोमेटिकली रिस्पॉन्सिबल और केयरफुल हो जाता हूँ, बिकॉज मेरे अंदर ये होता है कि आई कैन नॉट मेक मिस्टेक्स ओवर हियर, बिकॉज ये ऐसा नहीं है कि हाँ ठीक है मिस्टेक कर लूंगा तो क्या होगा, ऑब्वियसली मिस्टेक कर लूंगा तो क्या होगा, कुछ भी नहीं होगा। कॉन्सर्ट में भी लोग मिस्टेक करते हैं, एक मिस्टेक से क्या हो जाता है। बात मिस्टेक की नहीं है, बात यह है कि जब मैं मिस्टेक करता हूं, या फिर मैं जब केयरफुल नहीं रहता हूं, लेट्स से ऑन द अदर वे राउंड, जब मैं केयरफुल नहीं रहता हूं और जब मैं रिस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं रहता हूं, तब मेरे वो तकलीफ होता है, क्योंकि मेरे पिताजी मुझे इस चीज के इसके रिस्पॉन्सिबल बनाने के लिए जो एफर्ट दिया है वो सारा व्यर्थ हो जाता है। That all goes in vain, or will go in vain in future as well if I don't do that, if I don't follow that. तो आप जब ये बात मुझे पूछे कि what is your memories and what is your things like that, and when you actually help me answering this question, when you actually uttered the word West Bengal, that brought me to the childhood, thanks to you. ये सारा चीजें है जो मैं जब सरोद लेके बैठता हूँ, तो मुझे उसका मेरे पिताजी ने मुझे सुनना, मतलब अमजद अली खान साहब, भीमसेन जोशी साहब, एनी क्लासिकल म्यूजिशियन यू टॉक अबाउट, मल्लिकार्जुन मंसूर हो, मुझे निखिल बनर्जी साहब, विलायत खान साहब, whoever, I was not supposed to say कि इनका म्यूजिक मुझे पसंद नहीं है, I was not allowed to, मुझे सुनना ही है वो, चाहे मुझे वो टच करे ना करे, मुझे सुनना है। सुन के ये फायदा होता था कि राग का वैरायटी, मतलब एक ही राग 10 लोग कैसे गा रहे बजा रहे हैं, वो मुझे समझ में आता था, अच्छा लगे ना लगे वो मुझे समझ में आया था। वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट जो है 10 रागों का जो एक कंट्रीब्यूशन है, जब जैसे मैंने राग भूपाली अभी आपको आरती के बारे में बोला, तो जब मैं राग भूपाली बजा रहा हूं, तो मैं सिर्फ अमजद अली खान साहब नहीं बजा रहा हूं, मैं विलायत खान साहब को भी लेके आ रहा हूँ, निखिल बनर्जी साहब को भी लेके आ रहा हूँ, जब जब मेरा मन चाहे, जब जिनका जो इमोशन मुझे लगता है कि सामने आना चाहिए, वो इमोशन को मैं ला रहा हूँ, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट ट्रेनिंग एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट परसुएंस, दैट फोर्सफुल थिंग। नाउ वही चीज के मेमोरीज मतलब पास्ट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट to define what you are now. If I am playing any kind of good music or pleasant music or whatever, doing something good, that is because मेरा ट्रेनिंग जो था, मतलब गुरु वाली ट्रेनिंग नहीं, जो घर में जो ट्रेनिंग था मेरे पिताजी से, वो ट्रेनिंग बहुत सॉलिड रहा, बिकॉज आई एम नॉट अलाउड टू डू सर्टन थिंग्स। मुझे सुनना ही है, हर एक कैसेट जो रिलीज होता था वो मेरे घर पे आ जाता था और उसको सुनना ही पड़ेगा मुझे। तो फिर हुआ ये कि एक सेंस तो तैयार हुआ, एक नैक तैयार हुआ, एक इंक्लिनेशन तैयार हुआ, एंड देन उस इंक्लिनेशन, उस नैक, उस प्यार से जनरेट किया हुआ कुछ भी चीज, जो भी मैं आज सरोद पकड़ता हूँ या फिर कोई ट्रैक को अप्रोच करता हूँ, डिस्कस करता हूँ चाचा के साथ, मदन जी के साथ, दीपक भाई के साथ, अमजद भाई के साथ, तो मैं वही एक्चुअल मेमोरी इज दैट। मेरा ट्रेवल्स का मेमोरी देखिए, बात यह है कि मैं तो जैसे मैंने कहा 4 ईयर के साथ ही मैंने 99% ट्रैवल्स मैंने 4 ईयर के साथ किया है. ऐसे छोटे मोटे एक दो ट्रैवल्स मैंने किया है अकेले, but that is only for solos and some collaborations maybe somewhere. मेरा ट्रैवल्स का yes, what I remember that in 2006 I was in Plains Fest, हैनोवर में, जर्मनी में हैनोवर में एक फूल का फेस्टिवल होता है जिसको कहते हैं प्लेन्स फेस्ट, KLEINS, प्लेन्स फेस्ट. उस फेस्टिवल में एक बहुत बड़ा बगीचा होता है, गार्डन, बहुत बड़ा गार्डन होता है. उस गार्डन में जगह जगह स्टेज लगे होते हैं. तो वहां पे रेगुलर परफॉर्मेंसेस, वी हैड 31 परफॉर्मेंसेस इन 31 actually not 31 performances, we had 62 performances in 31 days because सुबह शाम दो करके performances audience के लिए करना पड़ता था. ठीक है. And there my role was I went as an accompanying musician with Kathak dance, and I had to collaborate as well. That was a collaboration between the Kathak, the flamenco, and the belly dance. तो 3 तरह की डांसर थे वहां पे, 3 तरह की डांसर का म्यूजिशियन थे वहां पे. तो I was one of them. So it was a great learning experience because आप एक दूसरे के साथ, because it was a collaboration, you have to interact and you have to collaborate with them. You have to learn their music, they have to learn your music, and that sort of things. That's also a very very interesting journey. And ऐसे बहुत सारे phrases हैं, ऐसे बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो मैं वहां से भी लगाता हूँ, वहां से भी मैं यूज करता हूँ. जैसे पाको de Lucia का जो flamenco guitar है, that's I mean I love, that's one of my favorite thing. Now one flamenco guitarist you are hearing right in front, playing in front of you, and you have the opportunity to learn. I learned a lot from that young chap. He was in France. He's a French guy. I still am I'm having a contact with him. We discuss music certain times. So these are the things. मैं ethno music में participate किया. वहाँ पे न जाने young musicians होते हैं, 16, 17, 20 साल तक का musicians होता है, from all over the world. वहाँ पे Argentinian music मुझे सीखना पड़ा. हाँ, मतलब I'm playing tango in Ponsarod. So you can understand that it's a strange but very very pleasant learning experience. So all these things, Siddharthji, I cannot point out that in which track I played exactly what, or I brought in exactly what influence. I don't remember, frankly speaking, because I don't compose. I don't believe in composing because Madan ji के साथ ही एक चीज बजाते बजाते एक कॉन्सर्ट में एक हो गया तो दूसरे कॉन्सर्ट में टोटली दूसरा हो जाता है. तो ये चीज होता है. I cannot repeat.
You must have met your Ustad ji later on. You must have. So what does he have to say? Have you engaged with him about what you're doing and do you exchange?
Yes, Ustad ji is very fond of Madan ji, by the way, because Madan ji has wrote certain lyrics for him over the years, for Aman Ayan as well. So personally he knows him and the regard for both of them are wonderful. They like each other very much. Apart from that, उस्ताद जी के घर जब जाते हैं तो उस्ताद जी ये पूछते रहते हैं और मदन जी कैसे है और म्यूजिक कैसा चल रहा है, कहाँ टूर किया, कहाँ गया, आज उधर गया था, क्या हुआ, कहाँ कॉन्सर्ट था, ये सब पूछते रहते हैं. Though he is as he is purely classical musician, that's why he does not separately ask about the music and the tracks and things, but he is in the constant news of what we are doing. हाँ, मतलब मेरे से खबर लेते रहते हैं कि हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, मदन जी कैसे हैं. He has a very good regards for our group.
Right. And what about your parents, your father, with regards to your journey now?
He is happy, though he is at times like in 2001, 2002 when I came to Delhi in 1999. After that, when I when I was doing job he was fine because उसके पास कुछ पैसे आ रहे हैं, ठीक है, हाँ मतलब वो अपने आप को सस्टेन कर पा रहे हैं, he was fine. But in 2002 I was into video editing. I was a video editor. मैं वो पढ़ा रहा था video editing और फिर मैं काम भी कर रहा था documentaries, ad films. In 2002 then मुझे अचानक ये लगा कि मैं तो दिल्ली में म्यूजिक करने आया हूँ, तो मुझे तो as you know already, the editor has no social life. उसका लाइफ खत्म हो जाता है, पूरा स्टूडियो के अंदर बंद हो जाता है. तो ऐसे भी मेरा कुछ हाल था. तो रियाज व्याज तो मतलब सरोद ऐसे रैक्स में पड़ा रहने का जुगाड़ हो गया था ऑलमोस्ट. Yeah. So in 2002 I had to take a very stern decision that I am here for the music and not for doing these jobs. पैसे कमाने के लिए तो बहुत रास्ते हैं, अगर पैसे कमाना है तो पैसे कमाएं जाके अलग से. But I have to pursue this. ना खा के भी I have to pursue this. So I left all over. 4,000 रुपए मिलता था, वो 4,000 रुपए था मेरे पास. But coming back to your question, that is मेरे पिताजी, तो मैं जब नौकरी छोड़ा था 2002 में, वो एडिटिंग वाला जो नौकरी छोड़ा था, वो एडिटिंग वाला नौकरी मैंने छोड़ा था और मेरे डैड को मैंने बताया था झूठ, मतलब मेरे सारे लोगों को, परिवार वालों को, क्योंकि वो स्टूडियो में फोन करता था, क्योंकि मेरे पास मोबाइल था, एक मोटोरोला का मोबाइल था, तब नया नया मोबाइल चालू हुआ था बहुत ज्यादा. वो एक नोकिया का बहुत बड़ा सा मोबाइल हुआ करता था और मोटोरोला का एक नया सेट आया था तब, तो वो मोटोरोला वाला था मेरे पास. तो मैंने कहा था कि देखो भैया, वो मुझे अगर मोबाइल में ना मिले तो और कहीं फोन मत करना, क्योंकि वो ऑफिस बंद हो गया है, वो ऑफिस अभी शिफ्ट हो गया है, तो उसका लैंडलाइन चेंज होते ही मैं लैंडलाइन दे दूंगा आपको, लेकिन करना फोन मेरे मोबाइल पे ही. बिकॉज अगर वहां पे वो फोन कर लिया तो वो तो कहेंगे. वही हुआ, लेकिन 4 महीने बाद हुआ. 2002 के अक्टूबर में मैंने नौकरी छोड़ा. फरवरी में जाके उनको ऐसे चलता रहा, मोबाइल में ही फोन चलता रहा. बट फरवरी में मेरे बॉम्बे में कोई मौसा जी है, वो फोन कर बैठे, क्योंकि वो मोबाइल में मिल नहीं रहा था, तो आउट ऑफ गेट फोन कर बैठे. वो लोग कह दिया कि अरे वो तो कब का नौकरी छोड़ दिया है, 4 महीने पहले. He called my dad to say that, and at 2 o'clock at night, he just woke me up and he took me left and right. That how dare you are not responsible, how will you sustain and things like that. तो ये सब हुआ. मतलब नॉर्मल जो भी पेरेंट्स है, जितने भी पेरेंट्स है, वो सब कंसर्न होते हैं, और मैं ये समझ सकता हूँ कि दिस फील्ड इज a very risky kind of a field where you have no means to know that whether you will sustain or you will not, or wherever you are landing. पर वैसे चलता रहा. फिर मैं भी बहुत जिद्दी लड़का हूँ. मैं बहुत आसानी से, मतलब मैं बहुत, जिसे कहते हैं ना, मतलब माँ और बाबा का बात कभी सुना नहीं मैंने. मतलब कलकत्ते में बहुत सुनता था, बहुत मानता था, जी हुजूरी करता था, लेकिन यहाँ पे आने के बाद मेरे पंख निकल आए, तो मैं बिल्कुल भी लाइक मैं सुनता नहीं था. तो मुझे सरोद तो बजाना था, तो मुझे बजाना था. एंड देन तो मैंने बोला कि मैं तो यही बजाऊंगा. तो फिर वो बोले कि ठीक है, ओके, देखो. पर वो चाहते थे हमेशा कि मैं सरोद प्लेयर ही बनूं, इसीलिए वो लाए थे इसमें. उसके बाद मैंने ये बोला भी था कि अगर आपको इतना ही तकलीफ था और मुझे नौकरी करवाना था, तो आपने लाए क्यों? तो झगड़ा भी किया मैंने. आई जॉइंड चार यार. तो 2004 में जब हमारा सबसे पहली दफा टूर हुआ स्विट्जरलैंड का, और मुझे विदेश जाने का मौका मिला, तो माय डैड वेंट वेरी हैप्पी. तो उनको लगा कि अच्छा, इसका जो भी है वो कुछ शेप लेने वाला है, या शेप ले सकता है, एक चांसेस दिख रहा है. देन ही सॉर्ट ऑफ calmed down and thought कि अच्छा भैया, जो भी करना है वो करो और ठीक से करो. उनको लगा कि शायद अब ठीक ही होगा सब कुछ. तो भगवान की दया से अब तक तो सिद्धार्थ जी वही, मतलब My mother was always in supportive. My mother, my grandmother who passed away 1 year back, she was a great support of mine right from the beginning. She told me that whatever happens, don't leave what you are doing. अगर नौकरी नहीं करना है तो नहीं करना है, अगर सरोद बजाना है तो बजाना है, just go ahead and do it. बाकी फैमिली मेंबर सारे सपोर्टिव थे, इसीलिए मैं कर पाया सिद्धार्थ जी.
How
That's
did
the
you
thing.
actually get into Chaar Yaar? How did you meet Madan ji, and how did it happen that you will be part of the?
ये 2002 में जब मैं नौकरी छोड़ा, उससे पहले से ये I had taken a name very briefly, मिथिलेश कुमार झा, the tabla player. मिथिलेश कुमार झा is a classical tabla player from Banaras Gharana. He is also now also greatly associated with Amjad Khan sir, my guru. And गुरु के घर से मेरा उनसे परिचय हुआ. So we often used to, go there and sit and learn from Ustad ji, and he used to play the tabla. पर उनका जो कॉन्सर्ट होता था, मिथिलेश भाई का जो कॉन्सर्ट होता था, मतलब चार यार का जो कॉन्सर्ट होता, तब तो चार यार नाम था नहीं, तब मदन गोपाल सिंह जी का जो कॉन्सर्ट होता था, मदन जी का, तो मिथिलेश भाई मुझे मदन जी के कॉन्सर्ट में लेके जाता था. ऐसे जस्ट काम काज हो गया तो अगर फ्री हो तो चलो, दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग्स. बिकॉज मेरे पास जो भी थोड़ा बहुत पैसे था, और उनका ये भी था कि सिर्फ मदन जी कॉन्सर्ट में नहीं, वो हर एक कॉन्सर्ट में मुझे लेके जाते थे ताकि मेरा थोड़ा सा परिचय हो जाए, मुझे कोई काम मिले, बिकॉज ही न्यू दैट आई एम नाउ आउट ऑफ जॉब. तो वो लेके जाते थे मदन जी कॉन्सर्ट में, तो वहीं से मेरा मदन जी के कॉन्सर्ट, मदन जी, दीपक भाई, एंड उस टाइम महमूद ढोलपुरी साहब जो कि फेमस हारमोनियम प्लेयर थे, पद्मश्री से नवाजा गए हारमोनियम प्लेयर हमारे देश का, तो महमूद ढोलपुरी साहब बजाते थे. तो तब मैं वहां पे जाके सुनता था मदन जी को, और तब से मदन जी के साथ ऑन एंड ऑफ मेरा बातचीत, मतलब दो बहुत ज्यादा नहीं, पर हाई हेलो तो था ही. पर 2004 में जनवरी में इंडिया हैबिटेट सेंटर का जो लोरी का जो कॉन्सर्ट होता है, वो लोरी का कॉन्सर्ट था, एंड आई थिंक महमूद ढोलपुरी साहब वाज नॉट देयर. He was absent on that particular day because he had some other program. And Madan ji needed some melodical instrument. So as Mithilesh bhai knew me, he told that दीपक भाई तब यहाँ पे रहते थे, ये सिया पार्क के पास, अलकनंदा, नीलगिरी अपार्टमेंट्स, तो वहां पे रहते थे. तो वहां पे 11th of January 2004 मिथिलेश भाई ने बोला कि रिहर्सल है भाई वहां पे, जरा अगर बजाना चाहते हो तो आ जाओ. तो मेरे पास तो ऑप्शन क्या हो, तो बजाना चाहते हो क्या, हाँ भाई मैं बजाना चाहता हूँ डेफिनेटली. तो मैं गया वहां पे. जाने के बाद रिहर्सल हुआ. मदन जी इज बड़े प्यार से, बड़े सपोर्ट करते हुए, मिथिलेश भाई, दीपक भाई, everybody supported me because I was approaching that music, that kind of music for the first time. मुझे कुछ ना सर ना पैर मालूम था कि कैसे बजाना है, कैसे अप्रोच करना है, क्या है अप्रोच ही क्या है, वही मुझे मालूम नहीं था. तो फिर जैसे तैसे रिहर्सल हुआ, एंड देन तो दैट वाज द एंट्री पॉइंट. पर मैं थोड़ा सा एक्सटेंड करके बोल रहा हूँ इसलिए क्योंकि आई वांट टू शेयर इट. वो 11 जनवरी हुआ शाम को, आज भी मुझे याद है. उस दिन मदन जी ने बोला था ये बाहर जाने की कुछ बन रहा है, अगर आपको जाना है तो आपके पास कोई पासपोर्ट वगैरह है. तो तब मेरे पास पासपोर्ट था, तो मैंने कहा हाँ है, मेरे पास है. तो मैं तो बहुत खुश हो गया. तो 13 तारीख को कॉन्सर्ट था, 13 जनवरी, तो मैं पहुंच गया. वहां पे जाके स्टेज, बहुत बढ़िया स्टेज बनाते हैं वो लोग, वैसे ही जैसे बनाते हैं आज भी. तो वहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा लगा. वहाँ पे ये किया वो किया, बैठा, प्रोग्राम शुरू हुआ, एंड देन आई कुड नॉट प्ले अ वर्ड. इतना डर गया मैं, और मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि कहाँ पे घुसना है, कहाँ पे निकलना है, कहाँ तक बजाना है, कितना बजाना है. it was in total mess, I tell you. I can still remember Madanji was very upset
Oh,
after that. उनका फेस से आज मैं देख के मुझे पता लगता है कि उनका इमोशंस क्या है, किस तरफ जा रहा है आफ्टर 16 years. बट तब भी मुझे थोड़ा सा लगा था कि यू नो दैट माइट, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली यू नो आई कुड नॉट डिलीवर एंड ही वाज अपसेट, वेरी राइटली ही वाज अपसेट. तो मिथिलेश भाई के साथ कुछ बातचीत हुआ उनका, तो मिथिलेश भाई ने शायद कहा कि उनको और एक मौका दीजिए. ऑब्वियसली कहा ही होगा और उनको और एक मौका दीजिए. As a person, Madanji is a father figure, and Madanji was always supportive of me, you know, friend, philosopher, guide, father figure, what you call. I mean, I cannot stop saying about this man. But उस दिन की बात कह रहा हूँ, तब मैं नया था. He was then also he addressed me as beta, a child, and you know a very young fellow. And तो मिथिलेश भाई ने बोला कि देखो प्रीतम भाई ऐसा है कि अभी तो कॉन्सर्ट नहीं है, लेकिन जेएनयू में एक कॉन्सर्ट है 25 जनवरी को, तो उसके लिए आप अगर फ्री हो तो देख लो. हालांकि ये बात कंफर्म नहीं है कि मदन जी वाज अपसेट. मुझे लगा था मदन जी व्हाट एग्जैक्टली ही टॉक्ड विद मिथिलेश भाई, आई डोंट नो. मुझे लगा था ऐसे, ठीक है.
I've never spoken with him about it.
No, absolutely. Actually, I forgot. I must speak to him now.
Let him
Yeah.
let him watch this video and then let's see what the reaction is.
बिल्कुल बहुत मजा आएगा. तो 25 जनवरी को वो कॉन्सर्ट था जेएनयू में, जहाँ पे मुझे लग रहा था कि मुझे तो प्रूव करना ही है, बिकॉज यू नो आई हैव टू प्ले समथिंग. तो जेएनयू में कॉन्टेक्स्ट डिफरेंट था. यहाँ पे ओपन एयर था, बहुत सारा लोगों को दिख नहीं रहे थे कौन क्या है कौन कहाँ है, एज यू नो हैबिटेट में जैसे ओपन एयर में होता है. बहुत ज्यादा ठंड था, and on top I was not knowing that music at all. I was approaching the music that I didn't know at all. लेकिन जेएनयू में कॉन्टेक्स्ट डिफरेंट था. वहां पे एक हॉल था, जेएनयू का हॉल था, वहां पे लोग दिख रहे थे, पूरा लाइट्स जला हुआ था, and it was sort of a comfortable ambience. और अभी जैसे हम बैठते थे तब वैसे नहीं बैठते थे. The sitting arrangement used to be different. Sitting arrangement used to be that on the extreme right, I mean facing the audience, on the extreme right, tabla player, and then me, then Madanji, and then Deepak bhai, or the harmonium. तो मैं तबला प्लेयर और मदन जी के बीच में बैठा जेएनयू में. मुझे वो चीज आज भी याद है, बिकॉज दैट वाज द टर्निंग पॉइंट. गाना चल रहा, मैंने फर्स्ट ट्रैक अल्लाह फल्ला में कुछ नहीं बजा पाया, एज यूजुअल कुछ नहीं बजा पाया. लेकिन जब सेकेंड ट्रैक लिया, जो ट्रैक था थैया थैया, अब वहां पे राग भैरव में मुझे बिल्कुल डोमेन मिल गया मेरा बजाने का एकदम. तो तब मुझे स्पेस दिया गया. स्पेस तभी भी देता था, मतलब उसके पहले वाले कॉन्सर्ट में भी मुझे स्पेस दिए थे, मैं कुछ नहीं बजा पाया. इसमें भी मुझे स्पेस मिला, और इसमें मैं ऐसा बजाया सिद्धार्थ जी, मुझे याद है, आई एम बिकमिंग इमोडेस्ट ओवर हियर, पर मुझे याद है मैंने क्या बजाया था, और ऐसा बजाया था, ऐसे गमक का तान बजाया था, तालियां पड़ गया था उसमें. एंड आई एम लिटरली सेइंग इट वाज, और लाइक मदन जी, कोई भी तारीफ का काम होता है तो कभी पीछे नहीं हटते हैं तारीफ करने के लिए, ऑन द फेस, ऑन द स्टेज, वेयर एवर इट इज. तो बहुत तारीफ की ऑन द स्टेज, उन्होंने हंसे, उनके हंसी में खुशी था, एक अजीब सी खुशी था. वो कॉन्सर्ट बहुत सक्सेसफुल हुआ, और उसके बाद यू वोंट बिलीव सिद्धार्थ जी, सारे डेट्स मुझे लिखा दिए, जितने भी उनको मालूम था सारे डेट्स मुझे लिखा दिए अभी, कि भैया ये डेट्स फ्री रखना तुम. एंड दैट वाज इट. चाचा शायद तय कर लिए थे उस प्रोग्राम में दैट that sarod is the instrument. Whoever plays it, sarod is the instrument because ek to Sufi music and the poetry that is talking about. If you talk about Guru Nanak as well, he also played the rabab, and rabab has a close connection with the Sufism and the entire context. In the Central Asia, rabab has been regarded as a fundamental instrument from which the sarod has evolved. So in all these things, work positively for me and the sarod. And then Madanji, and there was no looking back for me regarding Chaar Yaar. I was, become a very, very loving and pampered child of Chaar Yaar.
I heard that track which you created with Deepak ji. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. That's the riff I was talking about, which I created in there.
Yeah, it's very moving. It's very moving.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
the other thing which is very fascinating about it is that you are all in different places
Yeah.
when you created that, which is basically
Absolutely.
the context in which we are right now, the pandemic and lockdown and social distancing and all that. How difficult and how liberating has it been these past 6 to 8 months?
A musician will always do music. That's why I must say that it is liberating, but it is difficult. It is more of a difficult in the context that we are live musicians. We are in constant pain that we cannot meet people and come in front of the audience and deliver our music to the entire community and the audience. Liberating in the sense that if a musician is practicing 5 hours a day or 2 hours a day or 6 hours a day, in the lockdown as well, it has not changed. For me, I have been the same person. I was doing riyaz. But yes, definitely the concerns are always there for the future. 2 to 3 things that we're a social creature, you can say. We're the human beings. We react to whatever happens in the society. It has set me back because, I could not meet my mom, my dad, only the talkings over the phone, could not meet the relatives and my family and friends. Of course, I have not been in touch with Madanji, physically and Deepak Bhai. I miss all of them, and that gives me a great pain. Financially, I want to become very open with this because, financially, one has to think that, whoever has a constant job, their salaries are not maybe cut off because of this entire situation, but maybe they're drawing something because they're working from home and they're working 24 hours, that sort of thing. But artists, no, artists have no way out. And mainly the live performers who are the freelancing artists, they are really in a very bad situation. I very rare use this word bad, but it is really a bad situation. It is not only difficult; it is a bad situation. No government is thinking about the art and the artist. No one is thinking about the art and the artist, but artists are themselves thinking about them because some artist is holding a program and from their own funds they are supporting the other artist के भैया आ जाओ ऑनलाइन कॉन्सर्ट कर लो और ये लो 5,000 रुपए ले लो. It is going all over, but nobody else, no else outside any MNC, any government, anything is even talking about these things. This is really depressing. Number one, and number two is for me, yes, that I talked about that if this goes on for another 6 months or 1 year, then many artists, I think, have to change their profession because everybody needs a financial stability and everybody has to eat or pay bills because that is going nowhere. The intake has stopped almost 90%, but the expenses are 100% expenses. That is not reduced. So for me, it is, if you calculate the ratio, it is like 80-20, like 80% it is depressing and 20% it is satisfying in terms of that it is a regular satisfaction, Siddharth, because I am a musician, I will work. Any musician like me who are passionate musician, they will realize, they will keep on producing music. It's a daily affair. With pandemic, without pandemic, whatever we do.
So essentially, the pandemic has basically hit the economic model.
Absolutely.
Not so much of our creativity or our creative pursuit, but
No,
a question of survival.
absolutely. Because if I keep on thinking about my future and getting depressed, then obviously my art also getting hampered. So indirectly, it is hampering a lot. It is on the negative side, definitely. It is not helping the situation for an artist.
This has not kept you away from creating and producing music. Creating at your
Absolutely,
own level and then bringing it together and producing and mixing things.
absolutely, absolutely,
So there's no reason why an online thing will not work, except
absolutely.
that an online performance across space and time might be slightly difficult, but that's the only opportunity, and why not take it up?
No, no. It is always better not to complain and go with that what we are having, at least till the time of the crisis, and we have to manage. That's it. We have to manage, and if it works, it is good, and I'm sure that it is working because all over the world it is going on now.
Yeah,
It is quite a regular feature now. The recorded concerts, the online concerts,
yeah.
and people are slowly becoming aware that they have to be tech savvy and they have to do some things. As in my family as well, uh, people are buying new cameras, people are buying new things, whatever, and in whatever capacity they have, they're buying and they're trying to come up with uh, something so that their something is always better than nothing. Um, at least at this moment of crisis,
Right.
that we have some light. That is important.
Let's end on that hopeful note.
Sure.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Siddharth ji. Take care. Bye bye.